This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on the BrokenInfinite.com, PutterMag.com, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording it live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We're talking about professional wrestling, both for the mainstream and the independent scene. You heard right. This show is on Spotify.
Dun dun dun.
Thank you, Potomatic. Thank you for making it easy. They literally had the option up there the entire for a while, and it was up for us. I clicked the button, and 2 days later, boom, WrestleCast on Spotify. So you can follow us on Spotify. It is up there. It's hard to find, but it is up there. It's the Wrestle-Cast. It's up there.
And Matty?
Yeah?
It's boom!
Baby! My name's Matty Jay, that is TWK.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am TWK of TWK Reviews, here to entertain you for another exciting episode of the Wrestle Cast.
We better goddamn well make it exciting. We're on Spotify now. Enrico, that's exactly what it is, yeah. Bring up the chat there. There we go. Put ourselves on the screen there. There you go. Forgot to put the thing on.
It's official and whatnot.
Yeah, make it officially official. Officially. Drain Salad Bob, Clerk's reference. Anyway.
So, Matty, what's on the docket tonight?
What's on the docket? Pretty simple. We got some news in the third segment. Why the third segment? We got, ladies and gentlemen, Takeover Portland. 6 of the best damn matches I think you and I have watched in a while. And yeah.
It was definitely not a dull night.
You could say that for sure. And for those wondering, wait a minute, aren't you going to talk about the Saudi shit show? What about the Saudi shit show? Oh, it's a Super Showdown. Whatever. It's literally Bray versus Goldberg. A made-up trophy that's going to be lugged around for about a couple of months or until WrestleMania season so you could put it back in there so no one knows that you're with Saudi Arabia. But we know, Vinny. And a glorified fucking house show beyond that. That's just going to be broadcast on the network because, well, you got the money. May as well use it.
And on top of that, if you want coverage of that show, there's a million other podcasts doing it, so...
And not to say that you shouldn't listen to our show, but here's the thing. We're not your typical news show, though we do cover... We're more of, I guess you could say, pardon your interruption, where we don't say the news, but we discuss it more than anything else.
I think we're just a couple of nerds saying shit that sometimes is informative, and other times it's just funny, hopefully.
Mostly it's opinionative, but we like to make your ass laugh. Yes.
Although not literally, although that would be one hell of a talent.
Though, the big reason why we don't bring it up past the second show they did, that WWE did, was Jamal Khashoggi and Saudi Arabia being... the government of Saudi Arabia, more specifically, is one big, gigantic fuck you of an asshole, and we'd rather just ignore it. Because that's what it wants.
Yeah.
It wants the attention. Oh yeah, we're not previewing that. But we are going to review TakeOver Portland, because why the fuck not? And we are going to talk about news, including a couple of good, well, obviously the good NXT show, but a great Dynamite this week. There's people saying this is the best Dynamite ever. I think we'll have a discussion about that, of course.
I usually don't like to say things like that, but I will say it was an enjoyable episode from start to finish. That much I'll say. But we'll get into specifics.
We'll get to that bump. Oh boy, we'll get to that bump. That said, clip of the week is pretty simple. Actually, clip of the week is what you're going to hear in the third segment. Our clip going into NXT Takeover Portland, Oregon, is very simple. We're not going to cover. It's not going to cover the show, but I actually did something crazy. I actually watched both AEW and NXT. Been a while since I've done that, by the way. I watched both live. And lots of noteworthy stuff. Tommaso Ciampa was introspective while beating up a dude who should not have touched Tommaso Ciampa. Like,
that's one of the longest reigning Evolved champions of all time, Austin Theory.
I just call him the bitch that decided to fuck with Tommaso Ciampa on the wrongest day possible. Because that's what he was. Austin Theory, no, I like Austin Theory, but this was one of those moments where you just sort of said, you want me to do what? With who? How many bumps? And that's it. Longest reigning Evolved champion.
I think he's up there, I'm pretty sure.
Should have said fucking no. Should have said no. But we go to what I think, and a lot of people are thinking, match of the night material. This is, for context, right after Keith Lee decides to make a mockery of the former DJZ. No, was it? No.
No. You're talking about his squash match against Kona Reeves. DJZ was in a tag match.
Okay, so no, it was someone else.
Yeah, Kona Reeves, who is Kona heavyweight.
Yeah. So yeah, Kona Reeves, he decided to interrupt Keith Lee, and he got pantsed for it, and that was about it. And Keith Lee's about to make people bask in his glory, and then Dominik Dijakovic, had a few words to say, shall we say. Take a listen.
Keith, I'm sorry. I'm not ready to move on yet. You and I both know that I had you beat at TakeOver. You know it. When I went to the top rope, the Spanish fly, that was meant to finish you, but it didn't. It just finished my lower back. That's why I couldn't get you up. That's why I couldn't hit Feast Your Eyes. And if I did, then...
If! That's all I hear coming out of your mouth, Dijakovic. Excuses. We all have, well, you know the rest. You can say that if this happened, you would have won, but the fact of the matter is, I won the match. Everywhere we've been, from Full Sail to TakeOver Portland, I always hear the same thing when we step in the ring, and that is... And based on that, you didn't win that match, but there with it, I'm always up for a challenge. If you can talk Regal into it, we can fight forever.
So, that promo was the quote-unquote epilogue of the first match on the goddamn card for TakeOver Portland. That's how good the card was. Fight Forever sounds to me like you're going to do an Iron Man match down the line between those two, and
12-hour Iron Man match.
You want to fight forever? Bring a lunch, pal. But no, seriously, if that is the leaning towards for TakeOver Tampa, I am not opposed. Not gonna lie, I'm not opposed. But that is a story for another day. We begin, ladies and gentlemen, with TakeOver Portland in Portland, Oregon, in the Moda Center was the host, and I just saw that next show is literally Super Showdown. Anyway. Thank you, Wikipedia. That being said, before we do the pre-show, I got a couple notes on the pre-show. Mansoor, who was part of the panel, I think he did okay. Sam Roberts. Bitch, you got booed out of the building for being a bitch. Shut the fuck up. They had live mics, so he could hear that the people could hear him, and the minute Mike put the beardy mouth, Sam Roberts booed. Boo! Well, if you wanted to put over Mansoor before Saudi shit show, good job. At least Portland's
There's that time here where they pull him out of the dusty closet, dust him off, get him all shiny, have him do a few appearances, and then down back you go.
Yeah, I will say this. Guy presented himself well for a pre-show panelist. So whatever they're doing in promo class is helping for what little we've seen of him. His interviews were a little awkward here and there from what I remember watching on YouTube. So good job so far. We'll see if he lasts longer than the couple of weeks that he will last this time and this Saudi shit show around. Hey, you know what? I would not mind seeing him on NXT. From what I saw, he's decent. He's a decent hand. He looks decent in the ring. I'd like to see more of him before I form an opinion, and not to appease the Saudi overlords. You know what I mean? If a guy's good, put him up there. If he's earned it, he's earned it. Anyway, enough of that. And believe me, I'll take another shit at Sam Roberts. Spoilers for the loser category later. We begin with the aforementioned Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic for the North American Heavyweight Championship in 2020. I will say this. I think you and I were fairly certain that match of the night was going to play out between Lee and Dijakovic and Balor versus Gargano.
Boy, was I wrong.
You were calling Balor Gargano. I thought Keith. I was like, it's either or. I'm glad I was a fence sitter because damn those. I'll say, but we'll get to that. We'll get to Balor versus Gargano when we get to them. But 20 minutes.
This was a nice old Flippy Haas match.
This was Haas match with flips. This was literally this was literally Triple H and the producers going, all right, we gave him a taste, give him the buffet.
And one thing I liked is the fact that not only did that Spanish Fly factor into the finish, but Keith Lee hitting 2 spear bombs also factored into the finish because all those moves focused on Dijakovic's back, and all it led to him not being able to lift Keith Lee up for the Feast Your Eyes, which led to Keith Lee hitting the Big Bang, whatever his fucking gimmick is.
Yeah, the Big Bang Catastrophe, is I believe what you're referring to. Yeah. I will say this, like I said at the top of the segment, if you guys want to do like an Iron Man, if you want to fight forever and do like an Iron Man thing for Tampa, I'm all for it. I am all for
it. Prediction. Dijakovic's turning heel.
Wasn't he already heel in the first place?
He's not acting like one. He's acting like a good old baby face.
Like a tweener. He's more of a tweener because of the NXT at Survivor Series gimmick.
I know, but like just the way he's been acting, the fact that he's buddy with Keith Lee, and he's always getting positive reaction from the crowd. And he's not doing anything illegal in the ring. He's not fighting dirty. He's fighting clean.
But he was introduced as a heel. I'm thinking more tweener than anything else because he was the way he was whining and bickering about on the mic there. I don't know. He's not full face. I don't think he's full face. Let's put it that way.
I can't help but see him. Like, to me, he is a baby face because if you're not cheating in the ring, if you're not really doing any actions that gets the crowd to boo you, then how can there really be any heelness to it?
So this is why MJF is such a good fucking heel, folks. He makes it obvious that he's a heel. And last time I checked, Dijakovic was more of a heel in personality than a face.
Well, he was introduced as such, but through his match with Keith Lee, they turned him face.
I disagree on that. This is going to be a debate forever. But we move on. This one I have a problem with. Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox straight fight 13-24. By the way, Lee versus Dijakovic went exactly 20-20. Nice. So Kai versus Nox. Apart from the finish, I like the match. These two ladies had a hard match to follow, and they did an admirable job up until the finish.
I think they did a great job of making sure the crowd didn't die out, which is something that can be really hard after a really, knockdown match like that. So congrats to both these women for that.
Coggins, I'm saying you should be with Tita, but I was saying Dominic was more of a heel / tweener than a face. So you're with Tita technically.
Yeah, he's with me.
Yeah. Anyway, have to correct that from the chat there. But yeah, I like these two girls got the crowd. If they had lost the crowd, they wasn't for long.
And this started off hot. Like, they didn't even wait for the bell. They just went straight at it.
They decided to beat the crap out of them. There was the gate crash pod. By the way, the guy in the robe and hat, Grand Pooh Bear. How you doing, buddy? Ringside for the entire event. Lucky son of a bitch. And we have those two beat the tar out of each other. There's weapons. There's plunder. Tegan Nox is about to win. And who the fuck is that lady? Reina Gonzalez, I think is what her name was.
Well, now it's Raquel Gonzalez.
Raquel Gonzalez. Okay. So, let the babyface win.
They're saving it.
I know. I don't give a fuck if they're saving it or not. It's a big pay-per-view, and it's obvious the crowd is there, and then you lost them for Balor and Gargano after that finish.
Here's the thing. Tegan already got a win on NXT television.
See my lack of giving a shit?
Well, the general consensus is that if you want to keep a feud going, then you can't just have the babyface, steamroll the heel, because you kind of need a reason for the feud to continue. At the very least, Nox was protected in the finish because it was outside interference that cost her.
Fair enough. But I think in the flow of the match and everything else, fair enough, you needed a downer, but it hurt the next match. Because the crowd was like, they wanted Nox to win. They were there to see that Nox to keep that train going. I get it. It's like, keep the streak, but it was a bad move. For me, bad idea. Bad finish. I get it. I don't agree with it.
Also, I am the table.
We had a Japanese table in our midst. That table did not want to fucking break.
And Nox got some air off that chokeslam. Jesus.
Yeah, Nox got some air. That should have been enough to break that fucking table.
Instead, all it did was flip over.
I feel bad for Tegan Nox, so that bump must have hurt like a son of a bitch.
Almost definitely. Oh, ow. Hope she got a good ice pack afterwards.
Yeah, an ice pack and a nice bath. Give that lady a bath with one of them bath bombs in it. Just pamper her, for God's sake. She took a bump of a table that would not break. Anyway. The aforementioned Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. They went 27-22. I will say this. Not match of the night, but match worthy of what they deemed as a dream match. Those two came to wrestle each other, and that's what we got.
It was a really good match, although halfway through, Balor started working over Gargano's legs, and then 5 minutes later, Gargano stopped selling the legs, which just really irked me.
Yeah. And that's I think the crowd went, okay. Can you sell your legs now? We're supposed to feel pain.
He pulled a Seth Rollins.
He did. He absolutely did.
And then later on, Gargano pulled a Gargano. He could have had the match won, but he just had to inflict more punishment, and then Balor's like, no way, fuck you, I win.
Yeah, pretty much. The I am the table moment. Renico, was it Morrow or Zayn who had the I am the table moment? I heard it in Zayn's review. I think Nigel said that.
I heard someone. The only person I've heard say that on commentary is Excalibur.
That's
during,
the one.
Dynamite.
Yeah. So that might have been.
It was during Dynamite.
Yeah.
It was during Dynamite, not this week, but last week.
It was last week, and that was probably more than likely Brian Zane who brought it up on his YouTube review of the Thingamabob.
Yeah.
I'll say this:
and
good match, but I'm like,
Excalibur?
you guys have to redeem yourself with the thing there, and then that was hard sell. You got the crowd back, and good move. You know, Balor getting the win was a smart move in hindsight.
Yeah, especially just the way he won, because he murdered Gargano with both the stomp and the 1916.
He murdered the shit. There was no doubt who won that fucking match.
It wasn't just a win; it was obliteration.
Mm-hmm. All right, this next match, I feel bad for the women's championship spot because it's always a spot that seems to offer the quote forgettable match. Because this was not a forgettable match, but you have to follow 3 solid corkers, and despite our opinions of Balor versus Gargano, those 3 matches were fucking classics.
I think the big problem with Ripley versus Belair is that there was never really any doubt in people's minds that
the minute Rhea Ripley decided to want to try to get Charlotte to challenge her, that was the moment you knew, okay, that's it. So Bianca Belair will not be the NXT champion. Fuck you.
Or at the very least, we knew that that Ripley was not going to walk out without her belts. This match is only ending one of 2 ways: either Ripley retains or Charlotte interferes and causes a D.
Yeah, thankfully they kept it clean in this case, but for Bianca, I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's Rhea's first defense, and you got to keep the belt on the newly minted champ. But I feel bad for Bianca Belair, who's, especially her promo this week. You know, I don't care where or how, I'm gonna whoop that ass to Charlotte. I'm like,
I like her thing of you don't even go here.
Why is it that, you know, I get it. You gain more in losing than winning, and that's fair enough. And Bianca Belair showed up. Both showed up, to be fair. That was a great match, 13-30. But
it's just a shame that she just loses every takeover match. She just shows up to lose. Like, she's basically the new Tyler Breeze.
More like the new Bayley in a sense.
No, Bayley ended up winning at least, and ended up going on a pretty long reign.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they're trying to do what to Bianca what they did with Bayley, as far as, you know, great on TV, but when it comes to pay-per-view, something happens and she loses. Tyler Breeze just lost because he was, well, you know, preening heel that could work good, and well, he's hateable, so we're gonna make him lose all the time. Bianca Belair isn't that she's growing by leaps and bounds. So, I'd like to see a takeover match with Bianca Belair where she wins clean.
That would be
like nice. A showcase match. Doesn't have to be for the women's title because it's obviously not going to happen at Tampa. But give her something give her a marquee match. Give her a marquee win.
Actually, it could happen at Tampa because the women's title is being defended at Mania.
Yeah.
So So give Bianca a match at TakeOver, I guess.
Give her a win. She's earned it. Anyway.
It would be
Next,
nice.
all right. Next up, tag team championship, tag match, tag team championship. The Undisputed Era. They were the former champs, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, versus the Broserweights, Matt Riddle, Pete Dunne. How much fish could Bobby Fish fish, and Bobby Fish could fry fish?
Now, how much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? Also, it's not Matt Riddle or Pete Dunne. It's Matthew Riddell and Peter G.
Oh, no. This is the new gimmick you and Shintai Curl came up with, huh?
No, that's what Kyle O'Reilly called him.
Fair enough. Good. That's how much I don't watch NXT, folks. Whoops. You miss stuff like that. But no, that's okay, Kyle. Good one. But Riddle and Dunne and the Stallion Cup, who, by the way, on Wednesday was revealed was suspended for 30 days for partying too hard and violating the WWE wellness policy. Whoops.
One thing I did like about the entrance was a really stupid, dumb thing, but I couldn't help but find it hilarious, was on the sides of the Trons, they had a fish with Bobby Fish's face.
And every time the lyrics ball would move, the mouth would move. It's stupid shit, but it's like at the same time, mind games. And this is we know that these are 4 guys that tag or singles will deliver on the goods.
I think the only reason this works is because of Matt Riddle. His raw charisma makes it work.
And, Pete Dunne is the ultimate straight man.
Oh, yeah. And to any WWE upper management that doesn't get Matt Riddle, you just don't get it, period.
T-Dub, it's not just upper management. Just call it what it is. It's Vince not getting Matt Riddle.
Apparently, it's not just Vince. It's like a split. Some like him, some don't like the fact that he's quote unquote not playing politically correctly because he's not playing the politics right because he's calling out Brock Lesnar all the time, and some of them don't like it.
You know what? To me, this is Matt Riddle not giving a fuck.
And that's why I love him. He doesn't give a shit about the political game. He's just like, yeah, I'll call Brock Lesnar. I don't give a shit.
I'm like, I'll be professional. I'm professional. I'm shaking hands. I'm polite to people. I'm on social media trying to work my own game. That's what he should do. Because guess what?
Anyways,
it's worked before. It's going to work again.
Oh, yeah. And this was my match of the night.
And that's absolutely fair enough. If for nothing else, it's like 1658, the most solid tag team wrestling we've had in a while on the WWE side of things. So that's absolutely fair.
And the drama was just felt so real. There were so many moments where I actually thought Undisputed Era was going to retain. I was like, no, I said, no, don't make me a liar. Don't make me a liar. Yes, they're winning. Yes, I am not a liar. I am a prophecy of truth.
Yeah, I am not a predictor. I'm a spoiler.
And I was correct tonight to an extent.
To an extent. You know what? It's one of those rare moments when we're both right. And it's weird, but at the same time, I think you and I will both take it. Adam Cole, bye-bye. Taking on Tommaso. Get to the Ciampa. Been a while since I've done that. 33-23 main event NXT title. Adam Cole retains. And as Tina mentioned, Adam Cole's next opponent will be the Velveteen Dream. And as
that's
I mentioned,
they're building on this week's NXT TV.
That's what they're building towards TakeOver Tampa. I am okay with that. And what I mentioned was, while it will not be for the title, it's back on. Hold on, let me get the button for this. I think you and I will both agree that this button is more than appropriate.
Betrayal! What? Betrayal! Betrayed me!
And just for the bonus points, if I could,
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I was thinking that exact same thing.
Gargano comes out. That there's like the match is solid, of course. There's interference, there's Adam Cole trying to get away with it, there's low blows, stuff.
There's a rough bump.
Rough bump. And Undisputed, the UE comes out, does their shtick, they get beat up, and Gargano has possession of the NXT title. Wham! Right in the face.
Matty, would you call that a heel turn?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a heel turn.
Thank you. One of my people at my work was saying that wasn't a heel turn.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. In this case, Tommaso Ciampa was a returning babyface in this case. Didn't matter what he did, he was going to get the babyface pop because, well, he wants Goldie back, and you tell an NXT crowd to boo. A guy who's been gone for almost a year due to the broken freaking neck. I dare you. And Adam Cole's such a lovable fucking heel that, come on, you got to boo Tommaso after that? Come on. Gargano had an edge to him, but it was always the babyface, except for the one part where he joined Ciampa and that weird tag team thing until, of course, Vince McMahon decided to fuck it up with the main roster gimmick, but that's another thing for another day. Gargano was straight up a face. Gargano was a face. Tommaso Ciampa was a face. Gargano betrays Ciampa. Ooh, you're in the way of Goldie. You killed Papa. You killed Daddy with Goldie. Boo! Boo! Unless they tell us otherwise next week. Gargano's a heel.
Thank you.
So, it is, after all is said and done, it's the rare case of you and I both called it.
Yeah, also, this match was really good, but I just have one nitpick, and that was Ciampa getting right back up after a Canadian Destroyer on the outside.
Yeah, the Panama Sunrise, as it is referenced. That... I'm sorry, you should have sold for
usually
a couple.
That wouldn't bother me as much.
This was after that horrific fucking looking spot of Ciampa landing on the announce table without breaking. It was well shot that it looked like he landed on his fucking neck. I'm like, Sal, breathe, take a minute.
Yeah, well, what I would have done in that situation, for me, if I was playing the match together, was have Cole throw Ciampa back in the ring, have him taunt a bit, sort of posture around, have him go on the apron, have him pull Ciampa up, so that way Ciampa isn't no-selling it by getting up himself, and then Ciampa counters it into a DDT.
That would have worked so much better. Absolutely. And it is my nitpick as well. Just sell.
Oh, someone on Twitter noted that when you sign a whole bunch of PWG wrestlers, you're going to get some PWG matches.
Fuck you. Seriously? Okay, PWG, but here's the thing. PWG still has good matches.
They didn't say the match was bad. They just said that it was very PWG style.
Fair enough. By the way, thank you to Evil Reverend. It's 21 months. I don't know why that did not pop up on our end, but thank you for the tier 1 sub. 21 months. My sub count can now drink. Good timing. I am in pain.
Well, I hope your pain gets better. Hope it eventually just goes away.
Oh, hold on. Let me get the Drink of Jericho button here. Evil Rev. Evil Rev. Cheers.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Oh, I just put a poll into the chat. What everyone's thoughts are on NXT Takeover.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. We could do that now. Here it is. So, great, good, okay, poor, unfreaking watchable. So 1 out of 5 being unfreaking watchable, and great being number 5 out of 5. And we don't. I need. How do I? How do we check the results on that? Oh, there we go. We
I'm
got a
checking the
vote.
results.
We got a vote going. It's not going to be on screen, obviously, because we got the thing going, but we got the results on screen.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and I have it up as well. That being said, what say you, TWK?
I'll give the show, I'll say a 4 out of 5.
I
wanted to give higher, but there's just one or two nitpicks too many, and they are nitpicks.
Yeah, and they are truly nitpicks. This was a solid first takeover effort. Well, if you want to call Worlds Collide a takeover, which they don't want to do that.
It kind of was until it was all NXT.
Yeah, it was all NXT. This is a solid second effort, a solid sophomore effort for NXT in the takeover department. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for sure.
Also, Evil Rev has a herniated disc. Oof, I have a family member dealing with that.
Oh fuck!
I hope you can get that healed. I know it's gonna take a while, but I really do hope that it all goes.
Get well soon, man. I mean, hopefully that you don't require surgery for that. Damn. That hurts, Bob. That just flat out hurts. You know what, Renico says, go see a Dr. Rev. I'm fairly certain he's done that.
I'm pretty sure that's how he's discovered that, because I don't think that's something that a person could just know.
Yeah, you live with that amount of pain, you go see a doctor to see what the fuck is wrong with you. I'm pretty sure that's how he knows he's got a herniated disc. Anyway, hopefully we'll provide you some much needed relief. While we keep an eye on that poll, it's about to end. Shall we do the thing? Shall we do the thing?
Do it. Segment number 2.
Time for your emails and comments of the week. You can send them to WrestleCast@gmail.com. Did we mention we're on Spotify now? Yeah, for you folks listening on Spotify, the WrestleCast@gmail.com. And the time says 100% of you folks, great, 5 out of 5. All right. That being said, Tina, our one email this week comes, you know who it is.
French Otaku.
And Renico, is that the same Scooby-Doo dude in Dynamite? I'm going to ignore
it certainly
that.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
There's a dude dressing up as Scooby-Doo at Dynamite shows. Also, there's a dude dressing up as Jesus.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. All right, on to the email. Well, hello, Wrestle Noggers. Talking about a week in wrestling. I forgot about last week's pay-per-view, so let's get to it. NXT Takeover Portland, classic after classic after classic, all capital letters on that last one. This was simply amazing from beginning to end. First of all, congratulations to the Broserweights for winning the NXT Tag Team belts. Charlotte versus Ripley is confirmed. All title matches were on top, with one downside: the silent reaction about Raquel Rodriguez. She was part of the Mae Young Classic, but she was AWOL after that. So it's just a nitpick on my end. And to confirm for those in the audio version, Evil Reverend already did Renico, currently in physical therapy, workers' compensation. You're working on it. That's not a bad thing. First of all, that ending though, Gargano, betrayal! You maniac! You blew it up! Damn you! Damn you! What the hell? There was a video reference. I can't get that on screen. Let me see what that is. Yeah.
I know! You got Skyrim, you got Deus Ex, you got...
Alright, so here's the reference.
What's wrong, man? Dude! What's wrong with you, man?
God. Okay. Spoony saying betrayal. Fair enough. Oh, whoa, okay. Okay, putting that thing down. Launch the button. Okay. Final rating, you know what? Fuck it. 5 out of goddamn 5, he says. Raw, well, Matt got killed again. Maybe it's time for him to free the elite outside of WWE. Who am I kidding? He's probably trolling the fans. Maybe. I mean, we saw Raven in a cameo during the. We'll get to that in the news segment, I'm sure, because that's been floating around that rumor. First hour was strong, mostly Randy, Matt, Becky Baszler promo, and Drew squashing MVP, but the rest, especially the Monday Night Messiah, took a nosedive. NXT, well, Austin Theory, welcome to NXT. Enjoy the beatdown by Tommaso. Episode was awesome, and yes, I did miss the mention of the Velveteen Dream doing mind games against Roderick Strong, and I do agree that it should be him dethroning Adam Cole. Nothing else to say. AEW Dynamite. Amazing episode with strong debut matches from Jeff Cobb, even with the sneaky loss. He's still a beast, and especially Wardlow. Nyla Rose has a badass promo. Quote, break bitches. Should be a t-shirt.
Hashtag Nyla breaks bitches.
That, I'm surprised that's not on Pro Wrestling Tees yet now, but give it a couple of weeks,
I'm sure. It's a very personable business, I guess you could say. It's not this big, huge conglomerate, so it takes time for them to make sure.
That, and, they want to make sure the design's cool.
Yeah, you can't rush these things.
And this is the Young Bucks and Mrs. Matt Jackson. They know their merch, so they're fine.
But to still quote from Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto, in terms of this still applies. A delayed game can eventually be good, but a bad game is bad forever.
And
the same goes for designs.
By the way, Breath of the Wild was a delayed game, and we all know how
every Zelda game is delayed. Game.
Oh yeah. And most of them are classics. Most of them, there's a few that are in the good department, so there's that. I think the ones that really, really bad were the Panasonic CDI games. Really.
We don't talk about Zelda CDI.
Because they're not canon, of course. But, for argument's sake, of course, And then again, we don't talk about Hotel Mario's much either, just so you know, folks. Or Mario is missing. Or Mario's Time Machine. Or Mario teaches typing. I'm going to move on now. Young Bucks will face Paige and Omega at Revolution. And Cody, you magnificent bastard with that moonsault off the top of the cage. Also, don't just realize the opening match, Raven was in the crowd. Could it be the plan B for the Exalted One? Hold your thought on that one. There's
always a plan B.
Oh, yeah. And a steel chair for Dean Ambrose. Poor son of a bitch. Winners, NXT Takeover Portland. All my praises, all my likes. Well done, John Cena being engaged. Congratulations again to him. It's a rumor, but WWE might end the use of heavy scripted promos. I believe it when I see it, but please do it. We've seen the effects of that on Raw with Drew McIntyre throwing a few more. I think he looked more natural sounded more natural on the mic, is what I meant to say there.
That's right. I sound more natural when I got to read a bloody script.
There you go. And Cody versus Wardlow steel cage match. Awesome display of Wardlow and that moonsault. Losers. The Bella Twins back on this week's SmackDown, as it turns out. I might have to be with the rumor that they'll be part of 2020's Hall of Fame. Good for them, but still, what a waste. Captain Cannabis, a.k.a. Valfinas, talking dirt on Nyla Rose. Bro, this is wrestling. Ever heard of that one time a Harvey Whippleman won the women's belt? Remember? That's more disgraceful than one person who made history being the first transgender male to female champion in history. Go back to smoking pot. Got a better button. Hold on. I think I need to hit this button here.
Put your motherfucking head back down, dummy!
And apparently Samoa Joe got injured again during a commercial shooting. During shooting a commercial. Hope it's not that serious.
You know what?
It could be
You
back.
know what, Matty?
Out of 100%. What?
He is no longer Samoa Joe. Until he can go 8 months without injury, he'll from now on be known as Joey Samoa. That's it.
God damn it. Stop.
Nope, he did. He brought this on himself.
D-Dub? If you somehow make your way to Nightland on a weekly basis, it's your fault, your words, not mine.
I don't have to worry about that because you'll probably get injured on the way.
Oh, God. Joe, he's all yours. Now, who the fuck am I kidding? He's not
catch
listening.
me. He'll end up like twisting his ankle, taking a wrong.
God damn it. J-Dub, you do realize that he might twist his ankle, but he'll break your neck doing that.
Oh, Rico's got a name for Samoa, Mr.
Glass
Joey Samoa.
Joe, good Lord. That's it. It says that's going to be it for Frederick Taco's email. See you next time. For those expecting to review Super Showdown, go to hell. I ain't watching that crap. You go to hell and you die.
Thank you, Mr. Hat.
I had to. He did not write that down, but I like, go to hell. I ain't watching that crap. You go to hell. You go to hell, you die. Anyway. Those are your emails and comments of the week. You can send them at thewrestlecast@gmail.com. We'll be back with the news when we get back from this word from our Twitch sponsors.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Who's Tom Stamos? Take one look at them because you're going to be seeing and hearing a lot of them. We build vans factory direct. Don't be mistaken by the middleman. Eliminate the middleman. Come directly to our plant. Buy one factory direct. Dusty, tell him.
You know Dusty Rosa McInerney does not tell you no lies. Don't lead you astray. Right here, Tom Stamos is going to be in your hearts, your souls, and your mind. Because you can come to the factory right here in Georgia and get what you want to get for the littlest price of all.
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
We're off the air. That was the best episode of Dynamite yet. I need you to do me a favor, Atlanta. I don't ask for a lot of favors, but we have 3 very good dark matches. Will you guys stay around? If you'll indulge me real quick, let's please give a round of applause to these cameramen and women, this wonderful production crew. To everybody who works at State Farm Arena, from security to the vendors, thank you guys all very, very much. I want to tell you the shortest story and then we'll get dark started. It's about 200 yards away. It's a street called Baker Street, and it is the exact spot. It is the exact spot I fell in love with wrestling. And I'm gonna tell you why. I came to a show, I couldn't have been 8 years old. And I knew that my dad was famous, but I really didn't know why. I didn't grow up in his prime. I didn't get to see a lot of the classics. I didn't get to see you break his leg, hey? I didn't get to see it. And I came to the show, and at the end of the night on Baker Street is where the fans will gather, right by where the boys and girls go out. And Sting went out. And you guys gave him such a great reception, and I didn't think anything, and I went to step out myself to go to, my dad's truck. And he put his hand across my chest, and he said, "Never steal another man's pop." And I didn't know what he meant. And when he walked out in that parking lot, all of you cheered so loud for my dad. And I didn't know I wanted to be a wrestler, but I knew I want to be famous like he is. And when I got into wrestling at 15, when I debuted in 2007, you guys were pretty hard on me. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate being hard on me. It made me come back week after week after week. And somebody asked me earlier, are you going to jump off that cage? In my hometown, you bet your ass I'm going to jump off that cage.
Back here on the Wrestle Cast, RVTN Takeover Production, BrookeInfo.com, Podman.com, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch.tv/RVT Entertainment. Matty Jay and TWK here with you, and let's start off with that cage match because, god damn.
My father said when I was younger, I'd just be better man.
God damn. Just that match, my god. I mean, I could go.
We'll get to that.
There's okay, we'll get to that. Yeah. You got some news? Let's do some news. Yeah.
Start these off. Raven equals the Exalted One?
Yeah, so for those watching, there was they had the tag team battle royal to open up Dynamite, and SU gets eliminated, and they get chased to the back, and right in the background, sitting conspicuous by his civilian garb, is one Scott Levy, aka Raven.
And the best part is, the announcers pay no attention to it. They don't draw attention to it at all.
If you didn't know he was there, you would not have noticed it afterwards. Because I thought it was okay. That's just some old dude sitting down while everyone's standing. Cool. He probably didn't like that segment. Fair enough. And we're moving. They're beating up in the Battle Royal. No one mentioned it. Now, the heavy rumor is Matt Hardy, a.k.a. the Broken Brilliance, is what is driving the Dark Order. But if Matt Hardy is fucked, say by a WWE fucking contract, if Raven's a plan B, while I'm getting serious flashbacks to a flock of his, that's not a bad plan B.
Not a terrible one, although I would really love it if Matt gets out, he's able to do the Dark.
It's obvious that they want Matt Hardy.
For no other reason than I don't want this stable to be screwed over twice, because it was already originally it was supposed to be Marty leaving the group, but then he re-signs with Ring of Honor.
He re-signs with Ring of Honor, and he's working with the NWA on top of that. So it was supposed to be a subsidiary of Villain Enterprises, but that turned out to be a big fat fuck off. Fuck no. Matt Hardy's pretty much saying he's not re-signing fucking period. His contract, it's pretty much open. It's ending next week. It's ending on the 1st. So we shrug. We wait. That's the only thing we can do in this case. But Raven is not a bad plan. Well, at this point, it's not a plan C, but I think at this point, but it is not a bad backup plan. If nothing else, if it turns out to be Matt Hardy and they got Matt Hardy no matter what, it's a hell of a red herring. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I think what's going to happen is Raven's going to come out. He's going to be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am not the Exalted One."
Probably.
And he's going to be the second in command, essentially.
Hey, if that's the case, with broken Matt, not regular Matt, not the broken Matt Hardy that we wanted to see forever and ever for a while now, the thumb is up. Absolutely, the thumb is up.
Throughout this match, it ended up being Matt Jackson being the final person, and ended up having to eliminate essentially 3 members of the Inner Circle.
Yeah, can we talk about the 2020 version of the super kick from hell?
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, the memes that came from that super kick. It is even more painful than it looks. Wow, that was a super kick.
I think that Sammy Guevara is turning into the crone of the group.
Yeah, he's super kick. Ding. I almost want to make a Krillin got owned bun just for Sammy Guevara, the poor guy.
By the way, you know the team of Hangman and Kenny Omega?
Yeah.
Well, the Facebook group I'm in gave that team an
interesting name. Okay.
You want to hear it?
Sure.
Cowboy Bebop.
I can't top that. That is an excellent fucking name. Cowboy B. That's fucking. That is awesome.
Yeah, like this is how the post started on the Facebook group. Okay, I'm coming with Cowboy Bebop. What has everyone else got? And everyone was just like, we can't top that. That's too amazing.
That's good because cowboy shit. And Kenny is a weeb. He's one of us. He's a nerd. Cowboy Bebop. It fucking makes sense. I mean, you can't use it on TV, but goddamn, T-Dub, I think that's what we're using when we previewed Revolution next week.
Nice. Let's go with that.
We have to use that. Even if it's on an unofficial capacity, I mean, fucking A. Cowboy Bebop, that is mucho excelente. That's what it is.
What's also mucho excelente is the fact that the women's division AEW is starting to finally fire up.
You know, you and I are on the same page, but we seem to be in the minority here because everyone's taking a shit on Chris Everyone's saying Chris Statlander and Big Swole, that was a down part of Dynamite.
No, like the crowd seems fired up about them, and that's the most important part. The fact that the crowd sees Statlander.
Nyla cut a great promo. Out comes Statlander after her win against Shanna, and out comes Big Swole getting in the face. The crowd seems to be interested. I'm sure as shit interested. I'm like, okay, here we go. Couple of interesting matchups right off the bat. I am okay, cool with that.
I can easily see one of these two challenging her at Revolution or make it a triple threat.
There's an idea. I mean, I probably want I stretch out the competition if nothing else. Let's keep building the division a little bit before we kill it or before we start doing what we need to do. But I don't see like that. I get it. Like it was the quote unquote weak point, but why be so down on the women's division? They're building up that division. Of course, it's going to be a weak point, but I'm looking at this. I mean, you guys probably were a little too harsh on the women's division this week. You folks at
I feel
home?
like it's really starting to finally pick up steam.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're on the same page on this one. Devin the Great in the chat. I'd call him Outlaw Star. Equally good. Another anime reference. Cowboy Bebop wins, though. It's the obvious one.
Any of our goes to Samurai Champloo.
Ooh. Another good one. Another good one. Anyway.
Oh, it should be noted that Hangman is also a bit of a nerd, as he named his finisher after a maneuver in Red Dead Redemption, the Deadeye.
That's very true.
Yeah, he is a huge fanboy for Red Dead Redemption.
Absolutely.
I mean, just to let you know how much of a nerd, how much he loves, especially RDR2.
Mm-hmm.
You know the part in Being the Elite where he got drunk and went around going, Kenny!
Yeah.
Kenny!
Yeah.
You seen Kenny? That was a shot-for-shot remake of a sequence in the game.
Why am I not surprised? I was like, that's got to be a video game reference.
It is.
Thank you for putting it together.
The best part is when Arthur Morgan is drunk, the person he's looking for is named Lenny.
Oh.
It's just so great how much of a tribute they paid to that. And I cannot believe it was anyone's idea other than Hangman's.
I will say this. Now the pairing even makes even more and more sense.
Newman Coe in the chat with a highlight comment says, a lot of people are upset about Kabuki Warriors who are not defending the women's tag titles, but I keep thinking about it all week, May. WWE quietly pushing Asuka because the whole Asuka 2 belts narrative.
I'm going to say this like this. I think they just stumbled on the Kabuki Warriors as excellent heels. I mean, we like the shit out of them.
I think they're not defending the titles because WWE doesn't care about the women's tag belts. And there are no other women tag teams, really. And they don't care to build up any other tag teams at the moment.
And now, unfortunately, featuring him on a weekly basis is not enough. You got to actually defend the belts. But I like them. So I don't know,
Yeah, Kabuki Warriors are great. Just you need to really do something with them as a tag team.
Fuck, I'll tell you this: if the minute I get a chance to capture their pre-match promo as they made their entrance, that's part of the intro. When I get a chance to put that together.
Nice.
That I was like that. I was like that. I was watching that on Monday and I saw that. I'm like, we are not worthy of those two in our world. We are not.
In other good news, AEW has official action figures coming soon.
Sweet. Yeah, we noticed that.
This is how you made it as a wrestling company. We get official action figures.
All we're missing is the video game.
By the way, Cody's action figure comes with a sledgehammer.
It does. Jericho comes with the AEW World Title, and unfortunately does not come with the bottle of the bubbly. But kids can't push the alcohol thing.
Yeah.
So it's Cody, Chris Jericho, the Young Bucks, and Brandy.
Yep, those are the ones shown off for special previews.
Yep.
And I can't wait to see the whole lineup.
I know you and I both know Matty D is going to jump on that shit in half a minute.
Oh, he's already posted pictures of those action figures. We already know he's going to be getting them as soon as possible.
Oh, he is jumping on that shit the minute they're out.
I'll be honestly surprised if he can't get a special deal for himself since, he's actually friends with the Young Bucks.
I would hope he at least gets them all signed at the very least.
Oh, 100%. Especially because he's actually made figures for the Young Bucks in the past.
Seems to be like a fair trade to me.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
You're not. You never know in this world.
Oh, speaking of crazy, Cody's moonsault. Let's
talk. You crazy son of... That was the ending spot. By the way, we've skipped over Jeff Cobb versus Jon Moxley, which, by the way, low-key, great move. You know, they signed Jeff Cobb for a bit after that. I don't blame them.
Wait, did they actually sign him?
That's what I keep reading today. That was the news of the day. Jeff Cobb. Undisclosed amount of time, but apparently they signed him.
Great move. Great move.
Excellent move, and they got plenty to work with the guy. By the way, low-key loved Taz on commentary for that matchup.
He is the sort of shoot fighter of the commentary team, so he would know.
He would know.
He's got that jiu-jitsu training, or at least Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I think, something like that. He's got submission training from some MMA discipline.
Yes. But back to that moonsault. Yeah, that cage match was awesome. Seeing MJF get his comeuppance, a small bit measure of his comeuppance via a double-A cage to the face.
I just love that moment.
That was good. That was good lore. That was good deep cut lore for longtime fans who knew the Rhodes and Horseman rivalry.
Yeah, Arn's got the cage door in his hand, and MJF is just next to him going like, slam to his face, do it like he did to his daddy, do it, you know what I'm doing, just do it. And then Arn takes the door and slams it into MJF's face.
And he stared a hole in Cody's face just to make him think, oh, I want to do it. Hey, MJF? Yeah?
Gotcha, bitch.
Wham!
And later on in the match, Arn just yeets MJF into the crowd.
And right before, for those saying, you know, there was a point where Cody was getting the advantage back in the match, and this was right before the big spot that we're talking about here. And Brandy slams a chair to MJF's back. He no sells, and it looks like MJF's about to hit Brandy. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me kind of wishes he did just for the heel heat. Obviously, they couldn't do it because standards and practices. They say, "Hell, we'll allow the blood, but don't hit a woman." And in fairness, fair trade.
One thing I love about MJF is that while his character is an unrepentant douchebag, he's not afraid to get his ass kicked and have his comeuppance every other week.
That's a good heel. Build up the heat, and every once in a while, get your ass kicked. That's what a heel is supposed to be. That's what it is.
And as Ed points out, in this cage match, escaping is not an option. It has to end in pinfall or submission. Leaving the cage literally does nothing. If you walk out of the ring, congratulations. That just means you get to fight outside the ring.
And if they do that match, it's probably going to happen, and the ref trying to get them in and whatever, but that's essentially Hell in a Cell in that case.
Yeah,
cage
that
is
was
there, you could use it.
Cage. The cage went from the bottom of the floor all the way up above.
I like that it goes to the bottom and it leaves just a little bit of a gap. You saw they used that gap. They utilized that gap in one of the spots. I dig the look of the cage.
It's a nice little spin on what you usually see, because usually a cage stops at the apron.
Yeah, and it's a lot stiffer, because they're a lot quote unquote stiffer to reinforce that it's steel and it hurts. Here it's like it's loose, but it's like it still hurts like a son of a bitch. And of course, that moonsault was fucking crazy.
Yeah, Cody doing a moonsault off the cage, and they had like 10 different camera angles, all capturing it, which is great. It's good they actually, in that moment, just everyone focus on the spot. Do not look away. Do not look at the crowd. Do not look at Brandy's ass. Look at Cody's ass.
Yeah. I said, flip through the air, blood spilling out of the place onto Wardlow, which, by the way, Wardlow, excellent first match on AEW TV.
Yeah, a lot. I was kind of worried when they initially were shooting those promos because I'm like, oh, is this going to be just a power guy? And thankfully he's not. He does have some good skill in the ring.
He has skill in the ring. They're not showing everything, which is smart. Showed enough to say, okay, he's legit. He could go. And he is a big, tough, stupid guy. Mission accomplished.
Indeed. Also, I have to ask, was it JR Sass all night? He was sassy.
He was. He was throwing some zingers at,
Just like, did you have a bad experience at Starbucks that day?
Don't start with a Starbucks, for God's sakes. We have enough with
If Tony Schiavone doesn't make that a shirt, I'll be disappointed.
Oh. Low-key, Britt Baker becoming a great heel.
Just please improve in the ring, Britt.
Yeah.
Please.
That's all she needs.
She's got the character work. She's got the promo work. She has everything down except for being a great in-ring.
You would think being the girlfriend, or I guess fiance now. I don't know, but being the girlfriend of the NXT Heavyweight Champion of the World, you would think, hey, we low key train together. Not in the Performance Center, obviously, because I'm not allowed there, obviously for for reasons. But
what is she doing here? She's the enemy.
I'm just giving her a pointer. She just asked. Baby!
She can get a pointer out the door.
Thanks, John.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
It seems that it seems that the Velveteen Dream versus the Undisputed Era has officially been set, and we're just, I guess, waiting for a few weeks for the confirmation.
It's the obvious road, Cole versus Velveteen. I hope it's what it is, but it's the beginning of that feud.
There's something I would love to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it if somehow, some way, there's a match for the number one contendership somewhere to determine who's facing Adam Cole in Tampa, and during the match, it turns out that Roderick Strong looks like he's going to win that, and then Undisputed Era is like freaking out, like, well, what does this mean? What? And then out of nowhere, Velveteen Dream wins it, which causes doubt in the Undisputed Era. The cracks start to show. Because they've already kind of sort of been planting the seeds of Roderick Strong turning on the Era.
Yeah.
So to get him in his mind that, oh, I almost became number one contender, and now he starts thinking about it week in and week out. And then in Tampa, as the Undisputed Era starts interfering in the match against Velveteen Dream, out of nowhere, Strong turns on the Era and evens the odd.
That's fancy booking for you right there.
Yeah. And then afterwards, after Cole loses the belt, he starts a feud with Roddy.
Natural feud there.
And then after Cole loses to Roddy, then Red Dragon leaves the Era. Just a slow descension of this group at one point being on top of the world, and then slowly but surely they just keep on getting broken down and broken down and broken down until there's nothing left.
I got nothing else to add there.
Also, news that was revealed tonight, but rumored a few weeks ago, the Bella Twins are now confirmed for the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2020.
This was broken about an hour ago, just about an hour and a half ago, just about. So, yeah, Bella Twins are in. And the rumor is British Bulldog might join that group.
I would love to see Bulldog. I thought he was in there already. I can't believe he isn't.
He's
that's
not.
Kind of shocking.
Yeah, that's a shocking thing. He's not.
He definitely should be in there. And Bella Twins, of course, they have a huge fan base, Cole fan base, and WWE, they need that publicity yesterday.
Yeah. They're going to need the positive. They're going to need all positive
much.
shit after the shit show.
Yeah, they're going to need their publicity. They're going to need that, and the Bella Twins are definitely going to sell them some tickets, and that's what going to Hall of Fame is all about. Who's going to sell some tickets?
Well, Batista's going to sell some tickets. He's obviously going to. He's getting inducted. He's the main event. He's the main guy going in. NWO, because we got to give Waltman another goddamn ring, I guess.
I need all the rings, brother. I'm going to go with the NWO, and then I'm going to go in with the Wolfpack, brother. And then I'm going to go in with Immortal, brother.
Immortal's part of TNA.
This is the Silver Dome, right, brother?
So it's Dave.
Dave!
And so it's Dave Batista. Oh, he's not moving. He's not gonna. Oh, he's invisible. Don't mind him. So NWO, Bella Twins, British Bulldog, Jushin Thunder Liger.
That's a rumor that I hope is true.
That's a rumor I'm reading. If that's true, awesome.
Who inducts Liger? Wait, I know who. Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. I think that makes sense, yeah.
And I'm so pissed off we never got to see that match. God damn it.
Fuck. You're right.
I'm also kind of pissed we never saw one last match between Liger and Muto.
Well, the many things Ring of Honor has fucked up at MSG, folks.
They had them in the ring together. All we needed was just one solid minute of those two trading maneuvers. That's all. That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted. They wouldn't even let us have that.
Or another Jay Coggins, or another match with Tyler Breeze. I could have easily gone for that too.
Is it my eyes? When you look at me, they are so pretty. They'll set you free.
They're so gorgeous. They'll set you free. Let's see. What else we got?
Well, if you've been wondering what the deal was with CFO $ is and their whole thing, what's happening with them, it turns out their publisher has them on a no-compete clause.
Publisher is not a WWE fan. That makes sense.
Yeah, WWE tried to buy them out, but apparently whoever their publisher is said no. No. We're going to force them to wait.
Fuck you, bitch. Pay me. That's a bummer.
And speaking of lawyers, MLW looks to be talking with their lawyers to take WWE to court because apparently, according to MLW, WWE have been contract tampering.
Yeah, so it all starts with WWE's The Bump, their weekly morning gimmick that they do. And they had David Hart Smith or Davey Boy Smith Jr. on. Just for just to fart around, And just because of that, among other things, MLW went, "Hey, bitch, he signed to us in All Japan first, assholes." So for those wondering if British Bulldog gets inducted, if Davey Boy's going to be or Davey Boy Jr. is going to be there, I shrug, because I don't know at this point. I mean, it's logical and it makes sense, but I don't know. MLW seems to think, fuck no. Or, fuck you, pay me. Whichever is more applicable, of course.
See how this whole thing ends up turning out in the end. Hopefully well.
Yeah.
And our final bit of news tonight, legendary referee Tiger Tori has now officially retired from the business of professional wrestling.
They did the ceremony this week. This is the one thing I've not watched. I'm going to be watching that tomorrow, hopefully, and just catching it. It is on New Japan World. I do know that. So I will be catching that later. Probably tonight as I put this together, more than likely. But congratulations. Yeah.
One person who made a bit of an error was when they called out all the Chaos members to the ring, Colt Cabana accidentally walked out with them because he didn't realize it was only Chaos people.
Whoops. Of course, they played it off because Colt Cabana's more of a comedy guy, so you could get away with that small mistake. But whoops.
And it's.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say someone in my Facebook group said Colt Cabana is one day just gonna go, well, I guess I'm in Chaos now.
I would not be surprised if that's the case.
Well, I walked out here. I guess
I guess I am. I guess I am. And for those wondering how big a deal this is, why are we retiring a referee? Tiger Hattori isn't just one of the legendary referees at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's basically the English / American, like he's the liaison for all foreign talent. Like, you want to get something done, you talk to Tiger, essentially.
So yeah, he's been refereeing matches in Japan for decades, and he's been the liaison for between New Japan and American promotions, and he's done well of a job of doing that. He's just loved by everyone. Everyone loves Tiger.
Everyone loves Tiger. If you do not love Tiger, you are not a wrestling fan. There, I said it. We will miss you, Tiger Hattori.
Oh yeah, 100%. He was definitely he always stood out among the pack.
Enrico, he pinned Rainmaker. Don't spoil it. He says, Matty Jay, it is on New Japan World. It was good. He pinned. Don't spoil it. Jeez.
By the way, somebody who's in Japan right now and actually left flowers for Tiger Hattori is Shinsuke Nakamura, because he's still really good friends with Okada, who's getting married this weekend.
Yeah, so he was in town for the wedding, so he can't be on the show for obvious reasons, but flowers were sent by his way.
Yep, there's contractual things where he's not allowed to be on the New Japan
There
World,
are pictures of him with the New Japan guys and Tiger Hattori on Nakamura's Instagram, by the way, so that I know he can get away with.
Hey Shinsuke, if someone were to lose your contract, that wouldn't be such a bad thing. Maybe somebody just loses your plane tickets as well. You could just stay there. You could just go back to New Japan and win back the IWGP Heavyweight title. I don't think anyone would be mad about that. No, exactly.
No, T-Dub, if you're gonna do it, do it right. T-Dub, if you're gonna do it right. If someone were to somehow drop the Intercontinental title back to you, no one would complain. It is your belt, by the way. By the way, we have to change the strap because Naito decided to fuck it up 5 shades from Sunday.
He was going through a phase at the time.
He was literally just wanted to fuck up the belt. Went Rick James on it.
To say the absolute least. Anyways, that is all the news I have this week, unless you have anything to add, Mr. DJ.
So I'm just going to bring up a couple things before we get to winners and losers. The WrestleMania card. So we know Brock, Drew, Edge, Orton, Shayna, Becky. They're obviously working. By the way, low-key Shayna Baszler's promo this week. Goddamn. Becky, I'm going to tear the living shit out of you. And it was used with South Park, it was fused with South Park and a meme, which was beautiful. Charlotte versus Rhea, that's confirmed. Bray, we don't know who the opponent for the Universal title is, but they're probably going to figure it out next Friday, more than likely close to Elimination Chamber. Bayley versus Naomi is a rumored matchup for the show of shows. And another rumored match, and this is strictly a rumor, and actually I wrote it down with 3 question marks. Undertaker versus AJ Styles is one of the rumored matches I penciled in.
If anybody can safely work with The Undertaker, I suppose it would be AJ, and he could also bump like hell.
He can bump like hell. He's light enough to take a tombstone without, making it look like it could have killed people.
Yeah, he's light enough to where Undertaker can sort of, throw him around. He's not going to hopefully end up breaking nothing, so...
I mean,
good choice.
It is strictly a rumor. Nothing, nothing of value behind it, just rumor. So a grain of salt is applied here. But if that is like Naomi versus Bayley, I could see that, because at this point if there's something that's treated worse than the women's tag titles, it's a SmackDown women's title at this point. Poor Bayley. But Bayley versus Naomi makes sense. We don't know who Bray's opponent till Mania, about a month and a half away from the show. So that's, which is, they're saying Roman Reigns. I just don't have that written down because we still don't fucking know at this point. I know the rumor is Roman Reigns, but we don't know yet. They haven't even. They haven't pointed that to anything, so it could be literally just a Bray Wyatt. I just want to fuck with Roman Reigns. Okay, give me your belt, bitch. Uh-oh. Let me in? Yeah. Winners and losers time, Tina. Let's do that.
I guess I'll get my losers to the over-reliance on enhancement matches on NXT this week.
Yeah, outside of the main event, that's all we had.
It was just a bit too much
for a 2-hour show. The tag match with the tag champs was actually pretty good, but it was still enhancement quality, unfortunately.
Yeah, it wasn't a jobber match, but it was still inherently an enhancement match. And I feel like coming off of a big pay-per-view like that, people are expecting a bit more than what we got.
Yeah. For me, 2 losers, obviously Sam Roberts, because he's a dork and a bitch and deserves to be booed. Claiming to be one of us. Fuck you, asshole. I used to like his YouTube wrestling interviews. Now, it's Busted Open Radio and Chris Van Vliet. Which, by the way, honorable mention winner for him. He took 20 chops, and his chest looks like it took a shitload of chops.
Ouchies!
And another win for WWE because they're going to Saudi Arabia this week. There. Done. Winners.
And one for Jane the Wimp.
Yes. Winners.
I'll get my winners to that NXT TakeOver show. Quite nice. And this week's episode of Dynamite. It was indeed Dynamite!
That's how much he considered my ears. He was away from the mic when he screamed Dynamite. Also, I understand that reference. NXT is a winner, obviously, for TakeOver. AEW, the tag team title match was muy excelente. The Cowboy Bebop versus Lucha Bros. Worth catching. We didn't talk about that. Nyla Rose for breaking bitches in their promo. A steel cage match for obvious reasons. AEW for the toy line. Sammy Guevara and Matt Jackson for the New Age Super Kick from Hell. Jeff Cobb, the thumb is up. And Tiger Hattori for an excellent career of being a referee and the coolest dude, one of the coolest dudes in professional wrestling. There you go. You got a new video on Patreon right now.
Yep, it's going to be debuting on YouTube tomorrow morning. My review of WWE Day of Reckoning 2. Ooh. I hope you guys like it. I put some serious work into this one.
YouTube.com/C/TWK reviews.
Yep, YouTube.com/C/TWK reviews. It'll be debuting tomorrow morning. So subscribe so that way when it's out, you'll be notified of it.
Hey, if you want to watch it right now, Patreon.com/TWK reviews. It's up there. It's up there for you. Couple of dollars in that tip jar a month. You get to watch this video right freaking now.
And of course, as always, every other day I have a new episode of my commentary series of Judgments over on VG Comms, which does not have a custom URL yet because I don't have enough subscribers there yet, but hopefully one day I will.
And of course, I already mentioned TWK's Patreon. Of course, I have my tip charts as well. PayPal.me/MattJ316. Donations are optional, but always welcome. And don't forget, $100, I will read Scott Steiner's Steiner Math promo in my Arnold voice. That offer is still valid. So there you go. Oh, and Dark Magician Chaos Girl, what up with the picture messing up on SmackDown tonight? Oof.
What happened on SmackDown? I honestly don't watch Raw or SmackDown.
I don't watch SmackDown, so I'm setting up for this, and I just rather just relax and not scream at my TV and lose my voice. What happened? Was it on the USA feed?
Yeah, please fill us in because
fill us in.
Yeah, we don't watch SmackDown, so please fill us in.
Please do, because it's not going to show up on YouTube for obvious reasons. Of course, you could get our merch, streamlabs.com/RVTentertainment/merch, t-shirts, mugs, and all that fancy jazz. Buy the merch. You can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316, at MattyJ316, at TWK Official. And, of course, I'm on Instagram under the same handle, at MattyJ316. Emails, go to the WrestleCast@gmail.com. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, give us a couple of hearts and a follow. I will post the audio version Saturday night or Sunday, every Sunday technically, but I will do so a little early because I want to put everything else on the Broken Infant and all that stuff. So we get a little early, and you get to listen to us on the road. So with your streaming app of choice, which will be Spotify, I hope. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. We thank you very much for tuning in. I want to wait up until the Dark Magician Girl pops out. She's still in the chat. That'll be awesome. Okay, she's still in there. I think she tuned in just about the worst time possible. Yeah, a male icon came on screen in the show, and same happened last week. There was a male icon.
That's interesting.
On the USA feed?
Huh. I'm surprised I didn't hear anyone talking about that. I'm sure maybe Ross Twiddell will bring up. It is WTF moments.
And I get the feeling some people, I get the people want to watch it without contributing to the Fox ratings. So some people do illegally stream it. And it could also be a local ad issue, which is weird. Hopefully it'll be brought up on Monday. That's the only thing I could say there. That is strange, though. But anyway, welcome to the thing. Hopefully, you get to tune us in next week. That would be very, very awesome. We're sorry we came in at just the end of the show, but we welcome you aboard nonetheless. That being said, though, that is going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my good buddy TWK.
Until next time, this is TWK of TWK Reviews, telling you to work your gimmick.
My name is Matty Jay, reminding you to help professional wrestling support your independent promotion as soon as possible. I missed Femme Fatale for this show tonight. Actually, I couldn't go to Femme Fatale because I couldn't afford it at the time. But I got a full-time job now, at least for the coming year. C4 maybe? Definitely gonna make another poutine run. There's a wonderful Canadian restaurant just about a short walk from there. Ooh, I'm thinking about it now. Ooh, I can do that. God damn it, Matty, you're on a diet. Have a good one, have a safe one. We will talk to you next week, folks. AEW Revolution preview. You damn right we're talking about that. Bet your sweet ass we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that as much as Cody will love to jump off that cage in Atlanta. Have a good one. Have a safe one. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
You, buddy, what's your name? Stan.
This is even more painful than it looks.